Welcome to the Missouri Accreditation video tutorial series. This video is about updating your contact information. I've already logged into my Merit account and listed here are my programs. As you can see, I've not started my application for accreditation yet. I'll want to choose that by clicking here to start. You might see some alert messages at the top of the screen. That is to indicate that we have some things that we need to fill out. Let's first talk about our site contact information. You should see all of your contact information listed here. If you do not, you're going to want to update that. Simply scroll down and choose Edit. Inside of here, you'll have listed your program name, and you're going to have two options for physical and mailing address. It's very important to distinguish between the two. Some child care facilities receive mail at their physical address. Others have a physical address but have a separate mailing address. You have two sections for indicating which applies to you. In this case, I've checked the box to say use the physical mailing address. That means that I receive mail at my physical location. If I had an alternate P.O. box, for example, I'd want to uncheck that and enter that information. You'll want to put in your primary contact information for phone, fax, and again website if you have one, but that's not required. You'll want to choose from the pull-down menu of what your county is, and then you're also going to want to choose from the pull-down menu what your school district is. Finally, you have the program description. This is important because whatever you type in here will be advertised to the public. So when they search your child care facility, they will be able to read about what your program offers. Once you have filled out this information, choose Update. Our next section is the program directors. These two contacts have to be updated and approved by the Missouri Accreditation staff. If you go into Edit and you need to make a change, you can simply request for them to review the change and they'll get back with you if applicable. Our next section for updating our contact information is licensing and accreditation. Let's go ahead and choose Edit and let's look at what options we have here. The DVN is a required field. It is a 9-digit field. Your DVN will be noted on your child care license issued by the state, or on your license exempt, or on your exempt letter. If you happen to have 10 digits, leave off one of the zeros to make it fit the 9-digit value. Next, you have to choose what type of a program that you are. You will only choose one of these. You will either be license exempt, or totally exempt. Finally, you want to enter what your program license capacity is. Once you have that information in, choose Update. Our next section that we're going to tackle is the facility information. Click Edit. In the facility information, the first thing you want to do is choose what type of facility you have for your program. Is it a center, group home, family child care, preschool, or school age? In this scenario, I'm going to choose center. You're going to want to select what your operating hours are, either a full year or just during the school year. Again, I'm going to choose full year for this example. For your offered hours, you'll be able to check full day, after school program, before school program, or even half days for morning and afternoon. Please check all that apply. For this example, I'm only choosing full day. For the next section, where it asks if you offer subsidized care, you'll only check that if you happen to have a contract with the Department of Social Services for subsidized care program. The second option for the food care program, you have to have a contract for state food care program services at your facility in order to select that. If you have questions on either one of these, it is important that you contact the State of Missouri Government Office in order to verify those questions, not Missouri Accreditation, as we do not maintain records or manage those programs. The next section is how many staff do you have employed. For now, I'm just going to choose a simple number because this will impact our video tutorial later on. The next section has to deal with what classes do you offer within your programs for those that you serve, the students. So for our classrooms, I'm going to type in a 4-year-old class. And I will check the corresponding age group. Of course, it's 4 years. And then a description. And then I'll choose Add Classroom. I can add another classroom. For example, let's do a 3-year-old class. I'll click 3 years old for the age group, and then I will choose a description. And then Add Classroom. Doing this ahead of time will help you later whenever you're filling out your scheduled information as we go through the application process. Now that I've filled out this information, I'm going to choose Update. Our next section that we're going to look at is the enrollment information section. Let's choose Edit. Now, what you input here for your numbers will impact your self-studies that you have to fill out later on in the application process. For this video tutorial, I'm keeping my numbers low and I'm keeping them simple so that it'll help us as we guide through this process. Each one of these sections you'll see there's children at infant toddler level, children at early childhood level, and children at school age level. You'll enter the number of children that you have that fall into each one of those categories. The system will automatically total those numbers after you've updated it. The last option is children on subsidy. If you happen to have any children on subsidy, you'll need to have the exact number of those children noted here. That number cannot exceed your total number of children, so the numbers have to match. If they don't, you will receive a red error message, similar to the one at the top here, indicating that your numbers are not matching up. I've already entered a number of 20 for early childhood level, and I'm going to choose Update now. The last section left has to do with program staff. We will address that in another video tutorial separate from this lesson. So, we've entered our information for enrollment information, for facility information, licensing and accreditation information. We talked briefly about our program directors, and if you need a change, contacting the Missouri Accreditation Office by submitting a request. And finally, all of our site information for mailing address, physical address, and essential contact information dealing with what county you're located in and school district. That concludes this video series on how to update your contact information inside the Merit system.